Life finally awakens in the canyon as a gushing waterfall signals the start of a new season. It's May, and the white blanket of snow that once covered the canyon has since melted away. Around the stream and through the woods, I first arrive at Bridal Veil Falls. As I pull over to park, I notice a small herd of mountain goats munching down on the fresh, lush grass that has since grown after the spring thaw. Hi there, how's it going? Their ivory coats really stand out now that the snow is gone. The fresh grass tastes too good for her to care that a stranger is nearby. What remains of the snow from this past winter now fills the creeks flowing deep through the canyon. Snow meltwater now cascades over high cliffs to fill the streams below. To get a closer view of Bridal Veil Falls, you must take your time to cross the creek, carefully walking across a couple logs that lay over it. At just around 60 feet high, Bridal Veil Falls rushes down the face of this high cliff into Spearfish Creek below. Standing at the basin, you will feel a continuous mist of fresh water droplets moisten your face. Spring is the best time to visit Bridal Veil Falls if you want to see its most glorious season. This is the time of year when its cascading waters are at their peak flow. Later, a fog began to settle over the canyon as a light spring rain started to fall in the form of water droplets hitting Spearfish Creek. Several miles up the highway from Bridal Veil takes you to the heart of Spearfish Canyon. Here you'll find another waterfall, one that only started flowing again a little over a couple decades ago, the cherished Spearfish Falls. The trail winds down from a steep hillside, and the round trip to the waterfall is only around 1.5 miles. You will traverse wooded meadows on the way to Spearfish Falls. You are allowed to take your dog for an enjoyable hike there, as long as they're on a leash. Up here, spring comes a little later here in the northern Black Hills, especially Spearfish Canyon. So earlier we were at Bridal Veil Falls and we were getting a pretty good spring rain. Right now the rain is cleared up, but it has gotten a little chilly, so I had to put on the winter hat. Spearfish Falls was once a much visited site in the late 1800s. That was before its water stopped flowing for over 80 years, when Homestake Gold Mine diverted Little Spearfish Creek to its hydroelectric plant. After the gold mine ceased operations in 2003, the diversion pipeline ceased and the falls began to flow again. The towering canyons surround you on this short hike. You'll cross a bridge over Spearfish Creek, and then your stroll will meander through a small pine forest before you come upon the falls. Spearfish Falls is much wider than Bridal Veil. It is the last waterfall on Little Spearfish Creek that brings its waters cascading down to feed the larger Spearfish Creek. You can also view the top of the falls from a separate viewpoint before you venture on the trail that takes you below to the basin of the falls. Each season brings its own ambiance to Spearfish Falls, and spring is no exception. With deciduous trees just leafing out this time of year, it won't be long until wild daisies start blooming along the creek. Spring has sprung in the northern Black Hills, and it won't be long until more trees start budding and new wildflowers bloom to blanket the canyon where snow once covered the ground. New life is emerging to glorify this serene paradise.